Good day, good evening, everyone. Terilee Harrison here with Team Referral Network Virtual Chapters, and I am delighted to have another special guest on Team Talk Live. Please help me welcome my dear new networking friend, Ferlie Almonte. Ferlie, welcome.
Oh my God, how exciting is this? Oh, thank you so very much for having me. I could not be more thrilled to be here.
I am so excited to chat with you. And we were just discussing, did we want to have a length to this? And we were talking about doing it at 10 minutes, like fitting it in super quick so that we could upload this natively on LinkedIn. And we both gave it a thumbs down because we know that we have probably too much to talk about and we have too much to say. So,
exactly. But I was like knowing the aura, the wisdom, and all of that you are. It's like, how can we squeeze 10 minutes and deliver all of this content? I could just imagine the audience say like, oh, I want more. So you know what?
Okay.
Let it flow organically, and I'm sure.
I think that sounds like a wonderful plan, Ferlie. So let me introduce you a little bit more to who Ferlie is. So she is a multimedia host. She's a motivational speaker, a best-selling author. She's a certified life coach, a certified image consultant, and a corporate resilience coach. And I happen to know that with what's been happening here in the world, that she has made a shift to be able to serve families in a new way, probably, or having it be more of a focus than she had before. And I will allow her to tell you a little bit more about that, but please help me welcome Ferlie. Ferlie, welcome to Team Talk Live.
Oh my gosh, this is such a blessing. Thank you very much. I'm deeply honored and thrilled.
Oh no, I'm thrilled. Let's take 20 seconds and tell us what you're focused on now. I think that let's start there, and then we'll back our train up. So, because there's a lot of people that have a little bit different focus now than they did just even a few months ago, and that came out of need, necessity, and really a way to serve people in a way that works best for everyone now. So tell us a little bit what you're up to now.
Well, actually, because of the pandemic, being a host, a speaker, entertainer, all of my gigs were canceled. And so what am I going to do? Right? Like, what am I going to do? I need to make a living. And so in the same manner, I'm always that kind of person who's seeking the opportunity in adversities. And I said, there's got to be somewhere in the midst of all of this pandemic, something positive that would come out of this. Perhaps this is also a way that I'm being nudged, if not being smacked into following another path that will best serve, just like what you said, people. And so my zone of genius is resilience. And I've always been basically this poster child of what it feels like to rise above every single trial that we go through in life. And the pandemic is no other. Basically, this has affected us in a global scale. And many of us are left without jobs. A lot of us also are left without families because we lost 160,000 people and counting. It's scary. And so people also have come to realize that you need to prepare for times like this, because when you're young, you think you're invincible, right? You think everything is going to be just a bed of roses. And then a pandemic happens, and it literally basically pulled the rug right from under our feet. Now, how do we become resilient at times like this? In terms of my profession, actually, the whole resilience movement that I've been going through all my life has been focused on one thing: financial resilience. Because right now, a lot of people are struggling financially. And a lot of those struggles actually came from our lack of preparation for times like this. And so now I am in this crusade of educating people on financial literacy, on how to prepare and access income replacement in case of times like this. Whether you become sick or you become disabled, you die, or say for example, actually in life there are three risks that we face. We die too young, we die too young, we get ill, or we actually live too long. either way, we need to be able to prepare for all of them. And right now, the most impactful thing is actually that we die young, or we actually get ill unexpectedly. And of course, not to mention, of course, we also lose jobs. And so that leaves so many different families without resources, income, without income to be able to provide for their family. Your life basically is on a standstill. And what do you do? How do you become resilient? And so from this beautiful profession, on becoming a living benefits specialist, has allowed me to empower people with that, financial literacy. At the same time, be able to give them the power to actually access funds from their life insurance without them having to die. People are saying, "What? I don't have to
Yeah.
die?" Because more often than not, when you get life insurance, for instance, people think that it's really is a death benefit. Like, one thing certain needs to happen, you have to die. But that is not the case anymore. The really funny thing is that, I don't know if that's really funny, but actually it's more staggering than anything, is that, you know, um, 7 out of 10, at least American people, have life insurance, right? But 98% of them do not have living benefits. So they all think that they have to die first. But in reality, that is not the case. You can access money from certain life insurance policies that would allow you to actually access a lot of money if you get ill critically, chronically, or if you have a terminal illness. Even at this time, you can even collect 100% of your policy while you're still alive, so you can enjoy it with your family or use it for however you want. But people do not know that. And so I am so I'm so gung ho about this right now, because let me tell you something. Why I'm deeply passionate about this, Terilee, is because, look, I'm going to get all emotional about this, because about 14 years ago, I was a respiratory therapist, and I got exposed to an occupational hazard that left me with a 40% permanent lung damage and severely disabled for over 10 years.
Wow.
So without, I had a lot. I only had a term insurance policy at the time, which does not have any cash value, and it does not have living benefits. Nobody told me about it. And so what happens if you're not earning money? What's going to happen? You spiral down in your finances, you go into bankruptcy, you lose a home, the whole family goes into a very deep financial stress. And I keep saying, damn, I wish somebody had told me about this thing. Did it ever exist then? I was not sure. But so either way, I wish somebody had told me that there is such a thing, such as living benefits, so I didn't have to go through what I've been through. So it has become my crusade to make sure that nobody goes through what I've been through, because there is a solution. But the whole point is that people do not know about it. And I don't want it to be the best kept secret, because I keep saying to myself, like, you know what? Shame on you if you do not share a solution that you know could help other people. So for us entrepreneurs, it's very important for you to be able to share life solutions. People have a lot of problems. People have needs. How you become relevant is for you to be able to be in touch always with what's happening in this world.
Yeah.
And it keeps changing, right? And look at us now. Who would have thought that we will be doing a virtual meeting, a podcast like this? This would not have happened if COVID did not happen, right? Um, Although I would not mind flying to Singapore and see you,
Please, please, please. Yes,
right?
please do.
Yeah, because I actually love, honestly, one of the things I really miss about live events is because meeting people and feeling the warmth and feeling the energy that it brings, and the different friendships. However, the ease and convenience of virtual networking or collaboration right now is also very powerful, because we are able to reach a lot of people from all walks of life. I love your group, by the way. Yesterday, I was on Zoom call with a lady from South Africa. Who would have thought that I would
Yes.
be able to connect with somebody from South Africa in the same
I
industry as
know.
I have? And so we're
I
already
know.
thinking of doing a webinar together to bring,
Wow.
because our personalities are very, very different. So what you have created, Terilee, is absolutely phenomenal. And so you are a blessing to so many people, because you are light. I mean, like, look
Mm.
at you, because your presence alone just bring, like a promise of hope and
Mm.
connection. There is such a very nurturing um, presence about you that is very undeniable. And so,
Mm.
when when you invited me to be in here, I said, "Oh my goodness, I feel so blessed." Because obviously,
Oh, I'm blessed.
that for me to have earned your trust and respect is, truly an honor, a true privilege. And so I would like to honor you also for doing what you do, because you are connecting people from all over the world in different industries. And I you know what I love most about it is that it is intimate, because there's
Mm.
a lot of places there, networking groups that are so big that you get lost some way somehow, right? Unless
Yeah.
you're very loud like me. But the whole point is the intimate environment that you have created in this
Mm.
virtual world is beautiful. It is so
Mm.
loving and so
Mm.
empowering. So,
Mm.
in many of our, my group alone, which is like less than a month old, you know,
Mhm.
um, we have already developed very, very good friendships.
So
And
good.
that would not have happened, if not with this pandemic. So my focus right now still is resilience, except that I have put a spotlight on financial resilience, so that we will be able to move through this very challenging time with a lot more, with a lot more resilience muscle in place. It's easier to be resilient when you don't have to worry about money, right?
It's so true. No, it's so true. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about that financial resilience. And I think it's true. Like so many people now, as things have shifted, and whether people maybe made redundant, maybe they were laid off, maybe some people will start to be called back. Like there are so many things happening. People starting businesses for the first time, people who were in business who were like you had all your engagements, your meetings be canceled, right? And some of them might have gone online, but it's just a different world for speakers out there at this moment. We can still speak online, but what does that look like and how does that play out? So there are all these people who are have this uncertainty about moving forward, and any tools that we can learn from someone that we can trust, they're so key, right? They're so key to see what is available out there. And it's so interesting, Ferlie, because I have some people who are in your industry who I can tell are busy, 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 and some people are like, I have no clients. And it's like, no, 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 like you should be talking to everyone. Like people should, whether you're able to like sign business in the moment, or whether just serve and educate, everybody needs to hear this. Like I'm not sure how many people know about that living benefit that you're speaking of, but you're so right, because at some point in our life we can become ill and then we don't qualify anymore.
Actually, I have
Yes.
a big story about that. My life is
Oh,
basically the story behind this product, because
okay, let's go.
honestly, when I was gravely ill, I had only a term policy that does not have any cash accumulation or any living benefits. And so basically I have to die first before I see money. Actually, I would not even see it. My beneficiary would.
Yeah, you
But
wouldn't see it. Yeah.
right. But then again, also one of the things that I also talk about is this, when you were saying about the living benefits, right? And so I always talk about, here you are, you don't know what is available for you in terms of income replacement.
Yes.
So if you don't, you if you do not know that it even is available, actually a lot of people have policies, okay, but they do not know that that could be upgraded for free. So
What? Okay.
yeah, see,
Okay.
look at
Keep going.
you know what, by the way, this is, this is for America, for America, so I don't know
Yes.
how it works in other countries.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, but what I'm saying that here in America, so if you have a policy, for instance, you are going to, we I could actually review it and see if you have living benefits, and if you don't, I'm actually able to upgrade you to include living benefits, and you are going to pay exactly the same amount as what you're already paying. And so it's almost like oh, you're driving, say a Nissan, and you're paying $250 a month for lease, right? For example, and I say to you, here's the key to a brand new Lamborghini, fully loaded, and you're going to pay exactly to the same. Wouldn't you take it? And so you're probably going to say, what color, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
So
How'd you
anyway,
know?
going back to what we were actually saying, I lost track a little bit. My story is also that now that I'm 58 and a half, look at me, I'm like a kid. I said 58 and a half. I have to say that half. So because I already have a pre-existing condition, and
Yes.
because my age now is a little bit older than 50, obviously it's going to be more expensive, and also I may not qualify. You see, that's why it's very important while you're young and healthy to
Yes.
invest on it, because it is not only a life or death benefit, but it also is an income tax free vehicle for people to save money for their retirement, but they do not even know about this either. And so that's why the more educated I could get people to understand that, while you're young, start saving. It's like a forced savings. Not except that forced savings also comes with protection in case anything happens. So don't wait till you're my age with ailments already, and because it's going to disqualify you from certain benefits, it's also going to put you on a higher rate, because the underwriters would basically have to, to measure the risk that they have to take on you, right? And so those things you need to consider. But so if you are actually, it's macho, the qualification is macho. If you are married, if you're aged like 25 and up, and you have children, if you are a homeowner, and if you are like, depends on your occupation, you want to be able to replace whatever you have, whatever you are enjoying right now, because if you have children, that needs to go, what happens if anything happens to you, whether you get sick or you lose your job, or you say, for example, you die, how are they going to be able to go and finish college? Things like that, that we don't think about when you're young, because you think like, oh, I got it, like I don't intend to get sick. But look at what happened with COVID. It's not like we planned it. You can be as healthy as you want to be, but you get exposed, and like how many people, by the way, I didn't even get to share it. My ex-brother-in-law, he was only 62. He was a physician in New Jersey. He
Mm.
died of COVID,
Mm.
and he got it from a patient. I've lost
Sorry.
many Filipino nurses and doctor friends
Mm.
because of COVID. And and the company that I also were partner with actually are honoring COVID related cases as well. And so it's not every company that does that. And so ask around, talk to somebody. If you have any questions, if you want to know how much money is available for you, reach out to me. It does not cost you anything to do that. I'd love to be able to review it for you to make sure that you are protected. It's a gift of love. If you want to be upgraded, I'll be more than happy to do that. But be educated, be empowered, because you'll never know what you're up against in this world right now. um, and as I said, like, I don't ever want that, whatever I've been through, to happen to anyone. And so my passion comes very deeply seated, so that we can all begin to live resilient lives. So, and
Mm.
that's only a small part of my story. And by the way, I'm very happily married now, but I also lost a spouse to pancreatic cancer within 8 months of my wedding day 10 years ago. So
Wow.
look at that. Who would have thought either, right? But you see, all of those things that we go through in life teach us something. So look at the lessons that life is teaching you. Each one of them, and that's how we evolve into different things. I would love, when I interview you on my show, Terilee, I'd love to be able to know what brought you to this space, that now you're connecting people from all walks of life, and being able to lift one another. I love that about you. And so, and this is me, this is my mission, my crusade is to bring hope and resilience to
Yes.
people. um there are so many trials that we go through in life, changes in relationship, changes in our careers. And so what do we do? It's all about choices that we make, whether it's business or our lives. Like there's so many life would, like there's so many curveballs that life will throw our way. But what will you do? Again, it's all about choices. I love to
Yes. She loves to talk. Do you guys know that? No, I love to talk to you, Ferlie. It's awesome. It's awesome. When I think of what's happening out in the world and how there's not one human being that's not affected in some way. And everyone has had some type of major impact in their lives, whether it's like a young person that didn't actually get to have their normal graduation, right?
Mhm.
Maybe it's somebody had to close a business. Maybe someone has lost a family member, right? Maybe some people are fearful of losing their house, right? There can be so many things, so much uncertainty that's happening right now, and I think our stories are so meaningful. It's showing up and being willing to say, I've had other things happen before, and it's part of what makes us who we are. And so I appreciate your story so much, even like the little bitty pieces, because this is nothing. What you shared, I'm sure, is nothing compared to whether it was your disability, whether it was losing your spouse. I'm sure it's nothing compared to all the many things you've been through.
When they say, how do you create this lovely statue of David? You keep chipping away what you're not, right? But in the process of that happening, there are also certain things in life that get thrown our way. And then that in a way help define who you are. But no, let me take it back. Actually, there are many things that come into our lives, and then we basically make choices in life. We shed, we let go of what no longer serves us, and we make choices in life. And the choices that we make in life actually end up defining who we are now. And this person that you now see is a product of the many adversities that
Yeah.
I've overcome. And so it is actually with great pride that I share this, and with no shame or reservation, because I know that when you hear that somebody like me was able to rise above so many catastrophes in life, and here I am, beautifully, confidently, lovingly sharing my message with the world. So somebody out there who's going through darkness in their lives will find hope, that
Yes.
like that you're not alone, because so many of us are like hiding in shame. But listen, when you hide in shame, it does not help anyone, because you're not sharing the lessons that they can be empowered from. And so let our lives be the lesson and the legacy that we create. And so when we are not here anymore, people will remember, because of this lady I found hope again. Because of her, I know that I can make it through all this darkness. you know it's all those little simple things. It could just be a smile, a comforting word, um you know um just knowing that you gave somebody else a chance to start over. But
Yes.
sometimes people need, they we are beacons of light. And so you share yours in a different way, but you actually light up the world through what you're doing, connecting people, with the hearts, that you cannot put a price tag on that. I hope people understand the magnitude and the power of what you're doing to connect lives, because indirectly, with you connecting people, you are also creating new opportunities for new beginnings, right?
Yes.
and
Yes.
and that's really like very powerful. You gleam with so much light and love. Like, look, I'm going to cry just even having you in my presence, because it is such
On
an
screen. On screen, everybody. Can you imagine when Ferlie and I get together like in person, hugging at an airport? It's going to be great.
Right, exactly. Oh, you know what? I can't wait for us to get together in a stage, because
Yep.
like on stage, like it will be a lot of fun. It's going
I'm
to,
ready.
yeah, like in the, like it's
We're
going to
ready.
be, musical, and like a lot. Oh, I'm telling you, it's going to be electrifying. So watch out, because in a few months we're going to be doing a global, not virtual anymore, right? Like we're going to
Yep.
have a global event that, everybody will just get to to meet one another, and
Yes.
like share, like, oh my god, I could just imagine the celebration.
As soon as we can. As soon as we can, Ferlie.
Yes,
So,
yes, yes. So, what was gonna say? Like, I actually have a couple tips that I want to share with the
okay, let's
audience.
go. Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's share.
if you are an entrepreneur,
Yep.
okay, I'd like to share a couple of tips, so that, whether you're a professional, okay, meaning you still have a job, and or you are an entrepreneur, or you're just, thinking of becoming one. There are a few things that I would love for you to think about, because this is now what is relevant in the 21st century, because it's very different now from how it was before. And very quickly, you saw also how we have shifted into a virtual world, a very digital world. You can very well say, I am already in my 50s, and I am not very tech savvy, but I I'm forced to learn. So our learning curve is heightened. It's accelerated, because otherwise we will not be able to keep up with the technological advancement. And look at us, like right now, Terilee and I were talking about, like, um, creating these virtual meeting rooms, the break rooms, and sometimes, they don't go so well. Um, in my case, I was even saying, like, oh, I had my iPad, but for some reason, StreamYard was not showing in there, so I had to quickly, find my laptop to set it up. But sometimes it takes some understanding why certain things work and some certain things not. But so anyway, that was one of the things, is that really be very, very open to embrace change.
Mm,
Embrace change, because the only thing constant in life is change. Unless you are adaptable to change, it is going to be very hard for you to continue to progress, because
yes.
otherwise everybody will be trampling all over you. So, as uncomfortable as it is, do your best, and don't be shy, and don't hesitate about investing on your success. That means hire a coach, go to a school, take a course, online or offline, but do something to learn, because unless you invest on yourself in terms of time, energy, and money, it's very hard for you to come out even, like, more resilient in this economy. So definitely invest on your success. Be mindful of the energy that you bring into a space. Okay, because nowadays it's not as impressive anymore that you have all of these big degrees. Okay, because at some point, yes, in the beginning you feel good. You graduated from what, like, say, an Ivy League school and all that. You have all of these degrees, but if you don't have soft skills, if you
Mm,
do not, if you don't have that, and your energy is dark and heavy,
yeah.
people can feel that. You know how it is when somebody walks into a room, and then you actually feel like you want to just get the hell out of the room, because for some reason you're uncomfortable, but you cannot place why. It is because their energy is heavy. However, there are people who enter a room and just brightens it up, and just, you know that is like, be mindful of what energy you bring. Actually, Oprah in her last show said, be mindful of the energy that you bring into a space,
Mm,
because what happens is that whatever you leave behind, like when you're there, you need to be able to infect people. Look, I have to use the word infect during this COVID. No,
you need to infect people, Ferlie. Go ahead. Go ahead. Not that. That's not what she
not
means.
not,
Go
not
ahead.
not not that way. Okay, you infect them with the vibrant energy that you have, because
Yes.
energy is contagious. Okay, so whether it's good or bad energy, it is contagious. So be mindful that you bring positive energy wherever you go. Before you go somewhere, think, put on your happy song, so that you, when you show up, you're already pumped up and, like, ready to go. Look at there, I can see you doing some moves there.
Mhm.
And then,
Mhm.
okay, so be a problem solver. Okay,
Mhm.
feel the pulse of the market, find out what's relevant, because
Yes.
nowadays, look at what happened with restaurants, right? Like, say for example, so now you have to be, okay, what is the solution to this? Now, take out, okay, like home delivery, um
Yep.
prepping, all of this. So you need to be able to massage the way you do your business, to be able to address the current needs of the people. So, and many of us were forced to actually, you know, to create new solutions, and uh, collaborate and build networks. Okay,
Yes.
because now it's no longer about corporate. Now it's all about how we can collaborate and build networks, because together we are strong.
Yep.
Come from a place of abundance. Don't think that, oh my God, it's not a competition. Think of collaboration. Always think of the good spin to that. And I said, like, also, work on your soft skills, emotional intelligence. And because what is very important is your ability to connect. Because
Yes.
if you, what's that saying, Terilee, like, people don't know how much you know, but
Until they know how much you
know how much
care.
you care. So
Yep.
that's the whole point. It's like, unless you're able to connect with them on an emotional level that they understand, it does not matter. Because, Maya Angelou said, right? People may forget what you said or do, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. So work on those things, because those are heart, no, 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 it's like soul purpose, and also heart centered people now, right? And so that, those are the things, those are soft skills that are, very critical now. People skills, right now, a lot of younger people, of course, all they know is like this, right? And so they don't know people skills. You
Yeah.
have to learn how to begin to speak with people, like, even if it's virtual, you need to be able to connect. It's actually a little bit more challenging sometimes when it's what's your experience, Terry?
About if it's challenging to connect virtually.
Yeah, like, what's your experience with that?
I think that we can do so many things virtually, Furley. I think the one thing we cannot replicate is we both walk into a room, we're face to face, and I can see from the minute you walk in the room that you're, oh, good morning, and that I see your energy, and that I get to experience it. Because when we're online, it's more of a, oh, it's your turn, and here you are, and you're small, right? So we don't get to experience quite the, we still get the energy, we still feel the energy, but that part's not the same. We don't get the benefit of the whole being in the same room. But everything else, I think, virtually absolutely can be replicated. And I'm sorry, we can still get it on a little screen, Furley. I think we know. We know. Yes, you know when they're like, and you know
That's
when
true.
they're like us, or in between, or in between.
Right, like, but I kind of miss, like, because there are also certain body languages that
Yes.
they
Well,
will be.
yeah, we're only seeing here, right? We only see here. So unless we're really working with our hands, we don't see it. Right.
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 So, but I'm just saying, like, so, basically work on those communication skills.
Yes.
But the good part about, like, going virtual is that, like, the skills that you need to master is like only like waist up, right?
Yes.
Because, like, if you're like slouching or something like
Yes.
that, like other body languages, we don't see it. So, this would be a great training room for us to begin to work on our people skills, because we have no other
Yes.
choice but to learn how to communicate this way. Do you think that going forward, that this is going to be the trend? How do you see
Mm.
it? Is it going to take over, live networking, do you think?
Mm. I don't think that, I think that I've even pulled people Ferlie. I pulled them before the pandemic, and everyone said, "Oh, I love face-to-face networking. I can't network on a screen." And more recently, there's a massive shift that people are more accepting of it. I think it's going to be a balance. I think that some face-to-face networking will absolutely return. I think we will still have some face-to-face events, and it may take some time. I'm not here to predict how long COVID-19 will be out there and how long we will need to postpone face-to-face events. There will come a day when we're able to safely do that again. And I think that many of us will be very excited and welcoming of it. But I think that now that people have been exposed to this and know that just like you and I are speaking, I'm in Southeast Asia, you're in North America, we're expanding our businesses nationally and internationally from our homes or our home office, right? I think it'll be a combination. So we must learn, and it's going to take a while for us to, like, I laughed. I was speaking at an online meeting earlier, and like I pulled out, man, who wants to use their business cards, right? Who actually would like to be in a room and hand out business cards, but we don't right now. So right now they sit in the drawer. So I think that life will be in between for a while, and those who are, as you said, are willing to embrace the change. I think that some people, speaking of resilience, tell me if you,
like,
what's up?
You are in Singapore, yes? Mm-hmm. So I don't know, like, what's the situation there right now in terms of the pandemic? Is it very similar to us, or is it normal there?
Is it normal? We are in like a stage 2 situation, but what I want you to think about is we are a very small island with like 6 million people, right? Very small island with 6 million people who all are very respectful and listen and don't question. And if they say you must wear a mask outside and it's against the law, and if you don't, you'll be fined, people do what they say, and most people still stay home. So when we go out on the trains and the buses, like they're probably at 25% capacity. Like people still stay home. Most people are working at home. And guess what's happening? Like our average community daily case is like 1 a day. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's not out of hand. So part of it is it's not questioning, oh, it's a conspiracy and they're taking away my rights. It's we want to be safe about it and smart about it. So we're able to be out and like go to the mall and have dinner, and you have to check in everywhere you go. Some people may not like contact tracing over in other parts of the world, but you know what? If I happen to be anywhere where anyone is exposed, I'm going to know it. I'm going to know that I've been exposed. So it's interesting.
Are you living permanently in Singapore now?
Oh, permanently. Well, this is Facebook Live. Oh gosh, I'm stuck here right now because if I leave, I can't get back in. So in the moment, I'm permanently here. We're here for my husband's work, and so we'll be here for a while longer.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
I'd love to.
So I'm stuck here. No.
Thank God for StreamYards and Zoom.
Oh.
And we can get together. But so I don't know. I hope that I'm very optimistic, of course, that in a few months, as we begin to actually move forward into a new normalcy, that we'll be able to get together and just like blended. It would be very interesting to see how live networking events or live event is going to happen,
Yes.
Because I was supposed to launch my one-woman show.
I know.
Before pandemic happened, and I said, look at this. Just when I was ready with all the songs, because it's like a one-woman show. I talk and storytell, and then I sing original songs I wrote lyrics to.
Wow.
And so like, oh my gosh, now I said like, it's not, I feel like it's not the same when you do it like on like virtually, and even like, because like, I love speaking and performing and hosting on stage. And I said like, but you know what, I'm sure it will be maybe a matter of adjustment, and then later on well, 1918, remember there was also a pandemic before. Remember they were having all of this so face shields also in the mask. Well, I don't know how long after they were able to go back to, to not having to wear it, but or when the herd immunity is going to happen. But you know um I will continue to have that hope that we will be
Yes.
able to experience that magic of live connection again, and
Yes.
be able to share our gift that way, you know
Yes.
so
I am certain that I have that hope too. I am certain that day can come. I don't know how soon it can come. I know many lives are somewhat on hold. People who might have postponed a wedding or changing up their wedding to make it accommodating for these times. Or like my son starts college online next week. He would have very much liked to have gone to Texas to start school here next week, but he's going to stay home the first semester, and our goal is to be able to take him ourselves in January and drop him off in Texas. And we don't know. We I guess Ferlie, if one theme about resilience is we all don't know what tomorrow holds, and this is a great example for all of us
exactly
of that. And
wow, it's very relevant. Was it Darwin? It was the last time Darwin, like, I love his quote about, it is about resilience. It is not the strongest or the most intelligent that survive. It is the one who is most adaptable to change.
mm,
So
mm,
the people who are, because if you listen, if you resist, the problem will persist. It's not going to go away. It's not going to adjust based on what your comfort level is. So you either get on with the program, or otherwise you're going to just, mope in misery, and
yeah,
nothing's going to happen. So this is the moment in time that we really need to be resilient, not as just, first of all, as people, but also as businesses, because with this now, you need to be able to create new ways to reach people, or maybe new products, and maybe
mm-hmm,
this will, catapult so many people to create new services that will address a certain need, and that's why the podcasts are also very powerful way
yes,
to share our message. My one of my podcasts is Faces of Resilience. So I basically, I bring people there who have extraordinary stories of resilience, because each one of us have a story. Some people have created something magnificent out of it. Some people basically have not. And the ones that I actually obviously bring to my show are the people with inspiring stories, so that people can learn from them, so that people will begin to be inspired to, to move forward in life despite what we're going through. So whether it's personal or business, choose to be resilient. Actually, my personal quote is, pain is global, hope is universal, resilience ignites solutions.
mm.
You know,
Okay, I can't think of a better way to end.
I know, right? I said that we can go on and on because there's so
We
many.
could, and we'll do it again, and we'll do it again. And people go, "Oh no, there they are again."
Yeah.
But let me invite people how to share with people how they can connect with you. So I want to invite you to connect with Ferlie. She talked a lot in the beginning about how she's able to help advise families when it comes to being financially resilient and taking a look at the policies you have. Maybe you don't have a policy. Take it from us, two women in their 50s that now have a pre existing condition. Like, thank God I had something set up for me, because now I would not qualify. She would not qualify, right? And you don't want to wait too long. You don't want to wait too long for these things. So no matter where you are in the North America, right? You can serve North America. And no matter where you are with your finances, if you resonate with how Ferlie is as a businesswoman and as just an extraordinary human being, and you'd like for her to take a look, I know she would be delighted to be able to help you and to serve you and see what she can do to help you. I think that the more foundationally that we have our foundational pieces of our finances set, the more then we can continue to work on all the other things. So this is certainly one of the most foundational pieces, is taking care of making sure that you have protection for your family. And my gosh, if you can get a living benefit out of it, then hey.
Yeah, but basically that is our staple product, living benefits. So we bring protection, peace of mind, and prosperity, because actually we're also in we're also building our team right now, because this pandemic allowed a lot of people to realize that they need protection, and we need more people to share that message. And our team has grown, and we've increased our business 45% as a result of this. And so
Nice.
there is a pressing need for it. I'd love to be able to serve you. I'd love to be able to take a look at your policy, or go over what I can do to help protect your family. As I said, my consultation is free, and let's talk and see how much money is available for you in case you get sick of cancer, stroke, or heart attack. And so don't wait for that moment to happen, because nothing in life is guaranteed. And Terry,
Absolutely.
we want to invite them also to the Global Summit.
We do. I'm going to put some notes in the comments. Ferlie is speaking at our upcoming Virtual Team Global Gathering. It happens on September 3rd. And I'll put some of the details here below. We'd love to invite you to come. And if you are in business, we have global online networking, some great presentations, including Ferlie. We also have our presentation. She's going to speak more on resilience. We have Ian Parker coming in from Australia, who will be sharing about how to have sales success, and some Ask the Expert sessions focusing on digital marketing, vlogging, and being camera ready. We talked about, oh man, Ferlie was working it for the camera before we got started. So we'd love to have you there on September 3rd, and I'll put the link in the comments. So thanks for mentioning that,
Yeah,
Ferlie.
so I will be speaking about how to unleash your resilience superpower.
Woo! Oh, next time we get on live, we're bringing our capes.
Yes, actually, thank you for reminding me.
Next time.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone. Well, Ferlie, thank you, and for everyone that's been watching. Have a beautiful day, a wonderful evening, and we look forward to seeing you next time on Team Talk Live. Thank you, Ferlie.
Terilee, thank you so very much. Thank you so very much for joining us tonight. And always watch Terilee's podcast, and please join us in our cocktails. Networking. There's so many ways that you can connect through team referral. My goodness. So you'll be missing out on a lot by not being a part of this. So, well, until then, thank you very much.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you.